Hello all. This video is going to be on users of ATI Catalyst drivers in Arch Linux, uh, specifically for the desktop Catalyst, and if I can remember correctly, up to I think anything past version 5 is supported. I'll double check that. I have a couple of web pages open. Yeah, it says HD 2, 3, 4 are not supported. Okay, so anything above 4, it'll work. And this was last updated in sometime in August. Last updated August the 18th. And if you look at the Arch Linux front page news here, Xorg server was updated to 1.16 on the 7th of this year. I mean, July of this year, the 7th, July 28th. And we're all waiting for an update for this, but if you want to use them, you can, but you have to downgrade your Xorg server. And I've done this so many times, I get sick of trying to remember, so I made just some notes, so every time I want to use the Catalyst drivers, especially for gaming, I go through this. I'll put these notes in a paste bin or something so you can look through them. And if you have compiz installed, you should the compiz B, Z, or ZR. Remove them in this order. If you have Emerald, move the themes, then whatever Emerald you have, like /JIT, and then the compiz. And then this command is kind of dangerous, is this to remove the open source videos. So that's the first one. So I'll take that line, copy it, and I'll go through the process of doing this, and I'll paste that in. And there's only one there, so. But I also have to move the lib32 ATI dir. So an alias I have is pack R to remove, and we're done. Okay, so now you have to add the Xorg server 1.15. That's the latest one. The Catalyst supports. It doesn't support 1.16 as I mentioned, so we have to add this into our pacman config file. So we'll do a sudo leafpad or whatever editor you can use, nano, gedit, etc. Etsy pacman.conf, and we'll go down to repositories and a couple of spaces here, and go back to the documentation here. We'll just take this Xorg line here in the square brackets and all the way to this here. Now the mirrors, it says if primary server does not work or is too slow, try these. Okay? So you just uncomment this and comment this out, for example. So I'll copy that and go back to our pacman config file and paste that in, and Control S to save and Control Q to quit. Now we have to update the key ID, and there's pacman key R -F and LL sign. So I'll pause the video for this, but you get the idea. Alright, so the key rings have been added, you see here, and we should do a pacman, just update our mirrors sync. So I'll just do it the regular way, sudo pacman -SYY, capital SYY. You can see it's found the Xorg and the signature. Okay. Now there might be, depends on what you have. We have to remove Xorg server, and then you might have these others in here, the input or void, Synapse, VV mouse, because they will not match the 1.15. You have to reinstall them with the Xorg server, but it should take care of it. So first one is sudo pacman rns Xorg server. Okay. I'll just do a quick check of, say, havdev. It might already be gone though. So I'll just paste that in. Okay, it's already not there. And then we'll do a sudo pacman -syu just to make sure everything's up to date. You see his Xorg 115 is up to date. Okay, so now we can move on. I use Catalyst test. You can use other ones, but the ones from the repository in YowArt, none of them are updated, so don't try. So we'll just do a YowArt Catalyst test. And we should be able to continue on and just follow the on-screen prompts. I'll do a summary of that, but in this case it's we want the first one, so you press 1 of course, and then answer no to editing packages and so on. Alright, it's finished compressing the package. That can take quite a while. I wanted to scroll up if I can find it to show you where it reinstalls the there we go. You see the XF86 input evdev is now, I can't see the date because it's dotted, but it installs the proper one for the Xorg server 115. Okay, so we'll go down to the end and continue on and let this load a bit, and answer yes to these conflict messages. There's only one. Okay, and proceed with the installation, and it will give you other instructions on screen. So I would suggest opening another terminal and log in as super user. So here we have at the top here, add no mode set to the kernel line in your grub. And so let's open another terminal and we'll do a super user, and we're just going to leaf pad etc default grub, and where it says grub command line Linux default, after that put a space, and just so we don't get errors, we'll just take this no mode set, copy that, and paste that in just after where it says quiet. And then we'll save and close and go back to our root super user, and we'll just update our grub configuration. So you should probably know that grub mkconfig-o / boot grub.cfg. Once that's finished, you might want to get the ACPID, which I don't have. ACPID, and also another one we'll add it while we're at it. We'll get and then we'll get the Qt4, I think, unless it's already installed. Okay, we'll keep the root super user terminal open, and we'll just make it simple, but just copying the system control enable ATI event SD, and it's the same thing for the Catalyst hook enable and start. Okay, so we're done with the super user terminal, and we'll just exit out of here. And all that's left to do is a couple more things. We have to run our ATI config. So ATI config, you can press tab there, and then 2 dashes initial, and whoop. Okay, let's do that again, sudo, just to make sure. Okay, and we're gonna have to blacklist the Radeon module. So you can use leafpad nano, so sudo nano etc modprobe.d, and then it'll create a file radeon.conf. So I'll just paste that in, and all you have to do is you put a comment, don't load Radeon module, and blacklist Radeon, so you won't get any errors. It'll probably still work, but it's just you'll just see an error all the time when you reboot. Paste that in. Control O to write out, and Control X to quit. Okay, and a reboot. So after a reboot, there's the dual monitor fix, and there's something else I want to mention. So I'll be back after. Hopefully I'll be back after a quick reboot. Okay, so I'm back after a reboot, and if you notice, my desktop wallpaper's changed. It does that when every time I install Catalyst, so it's easy enough just to put it back to what it was. However, my other screen, if you have another screen, sometimes it's not scaled right. There's a fix here. It's on the Arch Linux wiki as well. You notice too, when I zoom in, it doesn't look as good. Some drawbacks there. So sudo AMD CCCLE to adjust the scale, and you nano this file here, AMD PCSDB, and change this value V1 to V0. You can log out or reboot to test. So sudo AMD CCCLE. There we go. Display Manager. So you want to go to, my case is Display Manager 1, adjust. You see it's scaling. When you put it to overscan here, you should see your other monitor look proper. It shouldn't have black lines around it. So you click Apply, OK, and then we'll just do the sudo nano, this line here, and where to go? There it is. Okay, so I have to use the arrow key down, change V1 to V0, and Control O to write out, and Control X to quit. Now I've adjusted the wallpaper and the screens. So one thing I wanted to mention is if you want to use the AMD overdrive control, as of late I've found it a little tricky to install. It keeps failing the one of the zip files and downloads. So I finally downloaded the AMD SDK from ATI or AMD and was able to compile it that way. So if you want to use it, I'm going to upload both of those to SourceForge. And the packages I'm talking about are in the custom repo I have. It's AMD. This is the one that's failing from Yowart for some reason. This AMD ADL SDK 6, and it has that inside. But if you do this, if you compile it, it seems to work. So you have to install this first, and then you install AMD overdrive control. And if you don't know what I mean by that, it's AMD overdrive control is here, and you can get information about the temperature. I know it's slightly lower than the open source, and then you can actually set the fan speed to say 50%. So you can set value and exit to taskbar, and it's down at the bottom here. And you can just click on it once to reopen it and go back to the information, and you can see it's fluctuating, obviously because I'm recording, but it should keep it your AMD graphics card a little cooler, hopefully around the 50-degree mark when it's idle, maybe lower. Alright, so that's it for this one. Anybody using the Catalyst drivers for the HD Radeon 5 and above, I hope this helps, and hopefully we'll get a Xorg 116 version soon. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon, and bye for now.